Hello everyone, welcome to Tony Talks. To all our beautiful subscribers, we say thank you so much for staying with us. And if you're new here, we are happy you find us. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit on that notification button so that you will be notified for more upcoming videos. In the comment section, please know the regretful comment. Thank you for watching. Till I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe, stay blessed. I love you. Bye.
Caroline, you are number one. Please can become desperate. Some people feel men do not become desperate, but I tell you, men become desperate too, just like women become desperate. When and why will they become desperate? I will tell you. I'm trying to expand. You see this nail way we they do. Did you know they make things easy for somebody to when you have to do something? It's not easy. So I wonder how those ladies who do long nail, very long one, how they cope. So I said when I want to change the topic to when men become desperate. I initially didn't want to use this video, but I think it's necessary we use it. I have two types of video, this one and there is another one that I'm going to show us later. Let's talk about when a woman becomes desperate first. When a woman becomes desperate, what time does a woman become desperate? Why will a woman become desperate? A woman becomes desperate when age is no more on her side, especially from age 35 upwards. They become desperate in having a relationship. When they think their biological clock is taken away and they need to have one or two children, they become desperate. When a woman becomes desperate is another in a situation whereby, mostly when age is not on her side and because of bearing children, then a woman becomes so desperate. When they become desperate, what are the things they do? At that point, the woman no care how the man be. She go see some things about the man. Make her use broken English so that people can get to make her no use too much English. When she becomes desperate, she doesn't care at that point if the man he get money to take care of her and he no get money. At that point, she's even ready to spend her money for the man. At that point, even if the man they beat her, she no go mind. At that point, if the man are abuser, she no go mind. At that point, even if they are not on the same pedestal, at least close by, she no care. All she just wants is to marry. Maybe they call her Mrs. At that point, that woman becomes desperate and she go enter the marriage. At that point, the woman no one know. If people they see, say this man, what you want take this one do? She no go care. It has got made some women in the process, they feel marry their driver. They feel even marry their friend husband. They no go look at the moral something behind it. Say, this person is my husband, my friend husband. I'm not supposed to marry this person. They no go care. Even if now somebody very, very junior to them, they no go care. At that point, all they just want is to marry. Okay? So all she wants is she wants to fulfill something. Say, I myself marry. Some, they will stay in that marriage for long. Some, once they achieve what they want to achieve, they will leave. Especially if it is for childbearing purpose. She go achieve the purpose and she go waka comot because she don't get what she want from the man. Okay? Some go marry man, not because they love the man. Some women, they marry man to use man. You know, they to use the man. Some they use the men. Whether, let me look at maybe a single mother. Yes, single mother marry men to use them. Because maybe the load is much for her. And she see the man say, it be like say this man go dey useful for me. Especially if the man can be carrying her around to less the burden for her. The man is ready to give his time to do a lot of things for her. She fits out of that to marry the man. Or maybe a woman that has that has money and she's a business person, she fit marry somebody low to her for reasons to use the man, say this one go ahead dey help me, e go dey help me do some other things. So people marry for a lot of reasons, some for love, many not for love, many for love, many not for love. And so it is with men. But unfortunately, women agree. Women, they always agree, say yes, then they marry for desperation sake. You know, they too at a point will sit down and think about it and look at themselves that, why did I even do this? Why did they themselves always identify, say they marry out of desperation. But one thing I found with men is that men will never ever accept. They will never ever accept, say, then they did desperate. But I tell you, men know they did desperate in the early years. Just like women. Women in their 20s don't get desperate. Women in their early 30s don't really get desperate too. At that point, they still have people toasting them here and there. But when a woman is now getting to mid-30s, late 30s, that is when desperation sets in. For a man, desperation of a man does not set in until they get to late stage in life. When they get to late stage in life, that is when their own desperation sets in. Especially if they have had one or two failed relationships. Especially if they are not in good terms with their children. You know, it is not enough that a man separates with a woman. I know some men that we are friends. They are not together with the mother of their children. They are single, but they have very good relationship with their children. And you see such men, they will tell you they are not in a hurry to remarry. Honestly, I'm telling you, from the little discussions I have with people, you know, because of this thing that I do, I tend to have a lot of people talking to me. We chat, we discuss about life issues, back and forth. And from there, you can be able to gather some things. So I find out that most men who have good relationship with their children, they are not with the mother of those children. Oh, they are separated. Oh, they are not in good terms. Oh, but they are in good terms with their children. You don't see such men being desperate and rushing to marry a woman. They take their time. They take their time. Not only take their time, they want women who can, to some extent, match up with their standard and class. Just like a woman that has achieved some things in life. She's financially stable. She has children. It is very rare to see such women being desperate for a man. In fact, most of them, when they get to a certain stage, they will tell you they don't want marriage. When you ask them why, they will say they don't want any stress. Marry means... Okay, Kumbia Rose, welcome. You know, for such women, they will say they are not in a hurry to remarry. Why? Because is it children they are looking for? No. Is it a man to pay their bills? No. They are not looking for a man to pay their bills. So desperation makes people do what ordinarily they wouldn't have done in a normal setting, given normal circumstances. You know, they won't do it. Now, I said men can be desperate. Men too are so also desperate the way a woman becomes desperate. The only difference is a man's desperation does not come early like a woman's desperation. A woman's desperation starts early in life. That's from age 35 upwards. A man's desperation starts from 55 to 60 upwards, and for obvious reasons. One of it is old age. Okay? We are always talking. I'm one of the people that says a man's later in life matters to them than early in life. And that is why I campaign and I talk about men, young men especially, that have not made that mistake or made some mistake, to make their homes priorities. If you make your own priority, you protect your home, you shield your home, you make sure you do your best in your home to keep that home together. It takes two to tango. I know the Bible says a wise woman will build her home. But trust me, home building is not for the woman alone. It's for both the man and the woman. If home keeping is for the woman, then many marriages wouldn't break them. Yes, I will say that. But it takes more. Like I always say, marriage is not about love alone. Love is just the foundation. Love is never ever enough in a marriage. So men's desperation now starts from mid-50s upwards, especially if they don't have a wife. They are divorced, no wife, divorced, and they are not that liquid too. Desperation starts from there. A man that is liquid will not be desperate for a woman. A man that is that has good relationship with his children or has children and he has good relationship with them will not be that desperate. Or a man who has multiple wives will not be desperate. But where you have a man in mid-60s, in mid-50s, towards early 60s or mid-60s, desperation of a man starts from there. And that is where you find a man rushing and wanting to marry a woman. Now, the reigning thing now is for men in their late 50s, late 60s, early 60s to now go for younger women. And honestly, I am beginning to see some errors in all this. It is all okay for them to do it. It's their choice. But I can see some desperation that will land some of these men in trouble later. The mistake they thought they made earlier, they are kind of repeating that mistake. If you look at most people, most women, let me not say most, but I will say most. I will still repeat most for my generation especially. Because most of these men are men of my generation and generation before me. Okay? So I will say my generation and the generation before me and the one immediately after me. When we were getting married, most of these women do not have job. Yes, they were educated. Some are not earning so much. Some don't even have much doing. Some men marry these women without even an income. And they marry them, keep them in the house. Some set them up to start business. And they start growing the family together. Some of these women, most of them are in the school, they get pregnant and they get married. And I always advise, never marry somebody because they get pregnant for you. It's always a big error. Never marry somebody because you got pregnant for them. It is a big error. At the end of the day, people who do that, I have had them, I've spoken to some of them, they always regret marrying the person they married. They said, if not for the pregnancy, that is not the person they would have married. But they married the person, right? Mm-hmm. So please let me notify them on YouTube, on Facebook, that we are live. 1 second. Mo ti gbàgbé. I'm coming, o. Ìbùkún. Ó ti jí. Tó bá ráyè mi ní mind, tó bá lè bá mi gbé Rómi lọ síta fún bedroom break. Ṣùgbọ́n ọkọ mi. Ṣùgbọ́n. Okay. So like I was saying, this desperation starts setting in for the men. And unfortunately, during our own time, we know life is different now. Things are different now. Gen Z generation are different. You cannot compare them to our generation, both the men and the women. The men of our generation, the way we were trained up, is not the same way many of us trained our children. And many parents trained their children. I posted a video few days ago where a pastor, a dose of Elizabeth, welcome. Sister Debbie, you're welcome. I posted a video a few days ago where a pastor was talking about some parents of today saying the way they brought them up, they don't want to bring their children up that way. and they end up spoiling their children. And from what we see on social media, we can see that many children, many parents failed. No doubt about it. It's very, very obvious. Bridget, you're welcome, Osai. Very obvious that many parents have failed. Now, where am I going? I now see most of these grandpa that now they want to marry. Aproko, you are welcome. They want to marry. Honestly, it is good for them. I am saying I am one of the people that have once campaigned that a man should look for his later years in life. Okay? A woman, marriage can break. People can go their different way. But one thing is that if you have to now make a decision to move on, how are you making that decision? What decision are you making? Okay? Sorry. I'm trying to put this on YouTube, on Facebook. Mo máa fi fóònù lẹ́kẹ̀ẹ́ pè wọlé o later. I will allow you guys to call in, but let me just finish and give your opinion too on what we are discussing. Because this is a true life issues. True life issues that affect most of us, especially the men. Like I always tell you, women have soft landing later in life than men. And this is why men should look out for themselves. I am of that opinion. Look out for yourself. Do what is going to keep you happy. Okay? But when in the making that decision, are you sure you are making the right decision? Are you sure you are doing the right thing for yourself, or you are creating more trouble for yourself in life? Especially when a time will come, that energy will not really be there anymore. That strength will not really be there anymore. Are you sure you are making the right decision as a man for your later life, for your future? Which is, like I always say, for people in their mid-50s, the time to really be active, to really be really active, if you are giving grace, if you are lucky, maybe another 25 years maximum. That's the maximum. So maybe it's just another 10 years for you to be really active. So maybe another 15 years for you to be really active. So you have to look at it. Okay, that is why I say now, I'm living for me. I do what makes me happy. I want what will give me peace. I don't want trouble. I don't want violence. I want peace. But I see some people, they don't want peace. They want violence. Okay? I see some things these days that men are encouraging themselves. There is a girl that just married. Are you really doing yourself good? Have you really looked at it very well? Of course, we know today, many women, many ladies of today, they are looking for poverty alleviation man. They are looking for a man that would alleviate them from poverty alleviation. And the question I put to somebody yesterday when we were discussing this issue, I asked that person is a man. I said, did you see what is trending now? Men of your age group and a bit older, they are now going for very young girls. He said to him, it doesn't make sense. That why will a man of 60-something go for a woman, a girl of 20-something? It doesn't make sense to him. He can never do that. I now said, why? He said, why? I said, why are you condemning it? He said, that is more trouble. I said, why? I know, but I was just asking him some questions and he kept analyzing and telling me some things. I said, you see it's trending now. He said, really? He said, yeah, he saw one or two. I now sent him some videos, one or two of these videos. I said, look at what is going on now. The problem is where all this idea, men are cultivating this idea from, is Shadi Okoya. The mistake that people, this guy men are making, I can call them guy because age group meaning majority one. Timba fe konu won, oruko ni ma pe won. So I will call them guy. So the mistake most of these men are making by looking at Shadi Okoya as their example. Let me use that word, example. Yes, Shadi Okoya, Baba married Shadi Okoya when Baba was almost 60 or 60. Shadi was in her 20s then. Baba was very rich. Shadi, I will still say, to some extent, was still part of the old generation. Okay? She's almost 50 now, or late 40s. So I will still consider as those generation that were trained somehow too, in a little bit of way to, behave somehow. So some of these men are looking at Shadi Okoya as a role model. Thank you very much. And they are looking at Okoya and Shadi as their role model. That if Okoya can do it, they can do it. They are forgetting that Shadi Okoya, the kind of money that Okoya used to keep Shadi Okoya, please tell me how many of our men have such money? Another perfect example is Nedunwoko. Nedunwoko was able to marry a teenager because of what he has. And that is what is keeping Nedunwoko. Of recent, if you noticed, even if you go and look at Regina, if Regina has a choice, she will walk out of that marriage today with the money she has. With the money that she has. Go and look at most men that were able to keep these young girls. They are men that has serious and good money. Owo gidi. They are not just an ordinary man. They are not just a man that is probably doing Uber or any $30 per hour. $30 is even much. Some are earning less. Some, they are in Nigeria, they are civil servants. Okay? And they decide they want to marry. And they feel a baby is the next thing. And you tell me men are not desperate. That is what I consider desperation. And in the process, if care is not taken, what they ran from, they are going to see double from what they are doing. Especially considering the Gen Z generation that they are marrying. Remember they are marrying Gen Z generation. Look at this video. I didn't want to use this video before. But I tell you, men deserve happiness. They are later in life, they need to look out for it. I saw a picture. I didn't want to use the picture. I saw a picture of a woman, an elderly woman, and her children and grandchildren. And everybody was asking, where is grandpa? Maybe grandpa is late. Maybe grandpa is divorced. Okay? So, men, we have more widows than widowers. Men are always living a risky life. Men are more at danger than us women. That is why we have more of widows than widowers. Now, when it comes to divorcee, when a woman divorces, she has her children to lean back on, to lean on. She has her children as support. She has her children as mental support, emotional support, psychological support. What does a man have? Nothing. Nobody. Nobody even cares for them. Nobody look out for them. Nobody bothers about them. This is where I feel for them. Nobody even know whether they exist. Some people do not even remember to check on them. But if a woman divorces, millions of people are calling that woman. If a woman loses her husband, millions of people are calling that woman to be with her, to give her support, to give her courage and strength. But it is not the same thing with a man. So I feel for men in that regard, that people don't really bother about them that much. People don't even feel for them. But these men, today, they are beginning to make some mistake that many of them might later live to regret. We might not be there to see. So I have two people I'm going to use as case study. This man and the other video that I'm going to play for us. Now, I want to play this video. Many of us, if you are looking at Shadi Okoya, the picture of Baba, very old now, Baba Okoya, the man is very old now, to the extent that even if they talk, Shade have to murmur to him to understand what they are saying, which shows that probably he's having hearing problem, or he can't, something is not adding up anymore. Of course, it is expected with old age. Some of us in our 50s, we already know old age is gradually setting in. We know our body is not as strong as it used to be. Somebody in their 60s, a man cannot come and boast to me, I'm still the same when I was in my 30s. That's a big lie. Many are already dealing with medical issues. Many already have some things they are dealing with. Okay, so it's expected Baba in his age to be going through what he's going through. So it's not a big deal. And getting old is a blessing. So Baba is blessed. Baba Okoya is blessed to have lived the age he's living, and living that age even with a woman by his side to monitor things. Some people say whether the woman dey catch cruise outside. That as Baba is, even if Shade dey do something outside, wetin Baba fit do? Baba sef give am consent as e dey. Yes, as things be, Baba fit tell am say you can have somebody by the side, just take care of me, because Baba cannot do anything as e dey anymore. Abi that Baba wey you dey see, if dem tell you say him thing can still stand up, you go gree? Let's agree say the thing stand up. Can Baba do kerewa again? Except we are deceiving ourselves. Let me drink my tea. Shade Okoya says she will find anyone who says she's married to an àgbàlagbà. Young girl ló marry, kó wá find me. Young boy ló marry. Ṣé ọmọ kékeré ni ó ìgbìmọ̀ ló wọn àti bàbá. Bàbá tó gba 40 years lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Let me drink my tea. Abi? Why not? Oh, ẹ máa tanra yín. Why not ṣe kọ́? Ẹ máa tanra yín. Ẹ bá tanra yín tó ẹ jẹ́ ń gbọ́. Anyway, so engine must knock if you get to a certain age now. It's expected. Abi? It's expected. We see old people together. At that stage, thank you. At that stage, their only companionship, Kareni Basoro. See somebody to talk to. That was what she said. Ẹ kó wá find me. Arúgbó kọ́ ló fẹ́, ó young man ló fẹ́. Young man ló fẹ́. Anyway, that is that by the side. So these people, they are looking at the way Shade is taking care of Baba. The way Baba is looking, and every man, trust me, needs that care in old age. Every man, I repeat, just like a woman has her children to look out for her, every man needs a woman to take care of her. So if you are not going to be in his life, he deserves to have another woman. He deserves to have another woman. But having that another woman, are you sure as a man you are not being too desperate to ignore some signs? Are you sure in your desperation you are doing it right? Yes, I repeat, men are desperate now. Elderly men, grandpas, they are very, very desperate now. And they are looking for every means to have a woman. Knowing for the fact that many of them cannot cope alone. Many of them cannot enter kitchen. And that kitchen is one of the reasons why a lot of women, elderly women too, say they don't want to marry again. Because they say they don't want to start going to the kitchen and running up and down for a man. Except the man will prove that he is worthy of their wahala. Which means if I have to do it, I have to do it for a man that is ready to treat me right. Remember, most of these women, some of them are wounded already. Just like a man is wounded too. These women are wounded in the sense that some of them came from abusive marriage. Some of them came from troubled marriage. Some of them, they get wetin do them before they leave their husband. So before they want to remarry too, they want to be sure. Say the man where they come, that they have to say I have to be there and all that. that man too must be worth it. That if the man is not worth it, they are not doing. Now this level, now this stay, now the matter we still dey settle as we did. I now said men are desperate, are becoming desperate. Some men say, I should never say that again. I repeat, men are now desperate as women. And the men that are desperate are elderly men. If you follow from the beginning, you understand where I'm coming from. The desperate men are men, elderly men. Who are the elders? 50 upwards. Who are the elders? Maybe 55 upwards, 60 upwards. It all depends on how strong the man is. Now, let us go further. You know, say this old age, nobody feel hide them. Nobody. Ade Phillips, it seems you are not understanding me. Maybe you just joined. I said every man needs that support by their side. I said it. And I said I will never fault a man for deciding I want to remarry. Not as if I'm faulting these people, but I'm seeing some red flag. This is what I want to point out to you men. Let us watch this video. Or we should watch the first one first. Let me put the first video. Help me to watch this first video very well. Oh. Look at the little. Watch it. Sunday, I will.
And of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Sorry, that's not the one I want to play. 1 minute. Okay. All right, this is the one I want to play. All right, this is the one I want to play. So, let me lower the volume. How can I mute it? Any suru for me? I need to mute it. Tori orin, there is music. All right. So, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa wò. Ẹ máa wo video yẹn o. Willingly, the girl, ó gbáyà fún bàbá. Ẹ máa wo. Willingly, she gave baba a milk industry. Willingly, the smile. All right. Now, did you see this particular video that you just watched? Now, I'm going to play you this second one.